Now that Pam Bondi has been fired and she's no longer Attorney General, it actually frees her up in one really important way. You see, Bondi is licensed to practice law in the state of Florida. And the Florida State Bar has a rule, a policy of not conducting ethics investigations of attorneys who are serving in presidentially appointed positions, like, United States Attorney General. But given that Pam Bondi is no longer serving in a presidentially appointed position, you see where I'm going with this one. Let's talk about that, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So friends, in 2025, while Pam Bondi was serving as the Attorney General for the United States, multiple ethics complaints were filed against her with the Florida State Bar. That's where she holds her law license. Unfortunately, the Florida State Bar has a rule. It will not conduct ethics investigations of any attorney who may hold a license to practice law in Florida, but who is serving in a presidentially appointed position in the federal government, regardless of how egregious, how unethical the conduct may be. They will not initiate an ethics investigation. In fact, you may recall this reporting from some time ago, this from the Miami Herald. Headline: Group accuses Bondi of misconduct as Attorney General. Florida Bar rejects complaint. There's a coalition that includes retired Florida Supreme Court Justices Barbara Parente and Peggy Quince, who said that the Florida Bar rejected recent ethics complaints against Bondi filed, respectively, by 2 California congressmen and the California lawyer. The bar's lawyers cited a jurisdictional issue, saying it does not investigate or prosecute sitting officers appointed under the U.S. Constitution while they are in office. Well, friends, those last 5 words are all important. While they are in office. As of today, guess who's no longer in office? As soon as the news broke that Donald Trump had fired Pam Bondi, notwithstanding that she had done all of his dirty bidding, his lawless bidding, his unconstitutional bidding, his unethical bidding, no good deed goes unpunished, or in this instance, no dirty deed done in service to Donald Trump goes unpunished. But the minute I heard the news yesterday that Donald Trump had fired Pam Bondi, this is the first thing I posted on Substack and elsewhere. Tonight's silver lining: remember how the Florida State Bar Organization said it won't act on the many ethics complaints filed against Pam Bondi while she's a presidentially appointed government official? Well, she's not anymore. So let's get those ethics investigations rolling. And so I was pleased, but not surprised, when I saw reporting like this today. With Bondi out as AG, Legal Coalition vows to refile complaint that could cost her law license. A legal coalition that failed last year to force a Florida Bar investigation into Pam Bondi says it will try again now that she's out as U.S. Attorney General. Bondi, a former 2-term Florida Attorney General, is licensed by the state's bar. The coalition brought together 3 legal advocacy groups and roughly 70 lawyers, former judges, and legal scholars, including South Florida defense attorney John May, who filed the original complaint, and retired Florida Supreme Court Justices Peggy Quince and Barbara Parente. May said the coalition is working on a new ethics complaint that will use the same core legal arguments as the one filed in June 2025, but will be expanded to include conduct that surfaced afterward. He said the result would be a greatly enhanced and significantly stronger factual presentation. The initial efforts stalled while Bondi was still U.S. Attorney General. The Florida bar declined to proceed, citing a policy against investigating sitting officers appointed under the U.S. Constitution while they remain in office. But because Bondi is no longer a sitting federal officer, the coalition says the Florida bar's earlier reason for refusing to investigate no longer applies. So, friends, let's circle back and highlight one line of that recent reporting. A greatly enhanced and significantly stronger ethics complaint indeed. I mean, where to begin? It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet of unethical conduct by Bondi. How about lying to Congress about what's in the Epstein files when she said there's no evidence that Donald Trump committed any crime, did anything wrong in the Epstein files, and then we saw it with our own eyes? And friends, looks like Pam Bondi's days are numbered.
For homicide detectives, their chance of
What we call direct
So Gordon Ramsay says this 12-piece set
evidence, not circumstantial evidence. It's direct evidence out of the mouth of a young victim herself about what Donald Trump did. How about the fact that Pam Bondi has been in violation of the federal law, the Epstein Files Transparency Act, every single day since the December 19th deadline for full public disclosure? How about Bondi prosecuting Donald Trump's enemies on command, like James Comey and Letitia James? How about Bondi authorizing the prosecution of the innocent? 6 members of Congress who committed no crime, who simply accurately stated military law that service members must disobey unlawful orders. How about Bondi authorizing unlawful subpoenas to harass Jerome Powell? And friends, we could go on and on, but yes, a greatly enhanced and significantly stronger ethics complaint. So, friends, really all that's left is to see whether Pam Bondi will become yet another member of the Donald Trump disbarred lawyers club, together with Rudy Giuliani, John Eastman, Kenneth Chesbrough, and others. And given the destruction she wrought on the Department of Justice, Pam Bondi has richly earned her membership in that club. Because justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe. Please stay tuned. And I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.
She had a set of wise guy replies written for her to aim at individual Democratic members of committees when they asked questions.